Hey everybody, sorry this is a couple days late. It's been a busy week at school, getting ready for finals and things like that. Anyways, my family and I recently moved to Henry County, Georgia, which is named for Patrick Henry. Since moving, I have been a little bit curious about Patrick Henry, especially living in a county named for him. I have to admit, I didn't know Patrick Henry was from Virginia. I assumed he was from Georgia, thus Henry County. Well, that is far from the truth, but this research paper is not about Patrick Henry. In general, it is about his most famous speech. This is the reason I even knew who Patrick Henry was. The "Give me liberty or give me death" speech is something we learned about in school, and I, in fact, taught about the general idea of his speech myself as a Georgia history teacher. When I started to research Patrick Henry, I started seeing articles written that were supposing that the speech that is recorded by William Wirt in Sketches of the Life and Character of Patrick Henry was indeed not exactly the speech he gave. This intrigued me and I wanted to know more. Henry is well known for his oratory skills. It is said that he could capture the attention of anyone who was in an earshot. Even Thomas Jefferson called Henry the greatest orator that ever lived. Could the status of Henry as a skilled orator have been part of the mystique that captured William Wirt and inspired him to write one of Henry's biographies? As I researched, I found out that William Wirt's account of Henry's speech is the only copy of that particular speech that exists. This is where research turns into looking at perspectives of other scholars and historians. Wirt wrote his biography of Patrick Henry in a filiopiastic manner. Essentially, Patrick Henry is one of William Wirt's heroes. He even mentions this notion in a letter to George Tucker, someone who knew Patrick Henry well. All the research about Henry states that he was well spoken. Obviously, he's a great. He gave great speeches and captured attention, but he was not well read. He did not own a lot of books, nor did he seem to read much. And in the case of his most famous speech, Henry did not leave any copies of it. And it's hypothesized that he spoke from his heart that day instead of paper. The research shows that since Wirt's account is the only lasting version of Henry's famous speech, that there is definitely some hesitation to give absolute credit to Henry for the speech. While at the same time, we have to ask ourselves, do we lose an American hero if we say this speech is false? I have no doubt that Patrick Henry gave an incredible speech that day in March of 1775, but I also think that history should tell the truth. When we speak of Patrick Henry and this speech in particular, we need to have the conversation about how we don't know for sure if this was the exact speech, even to the point of questioning the most famous line, "Give me liberty or give me death." Thank you.